So I have a 2-year-old at home, and and that means that the last few months of my life have been watching Moana over and over and over. And I think it was like the 300th time that I saw this scene. I realized that this is what we're trying to do with artificial Ruby, and what sentiment we've been trying to convey. We were Voyagers, and we can voyage again. So this talk is a little bit of Ruby history. It's a little autobiographical. It is a little bit of an artificial Ruby announcements talk. So let's get started. So some of us were around in Ruby's golden age, which was roughly 2005, 20 to 2015. It's kind of where Rails came out of, where while we were all kind of exploring the possibilities of Web 2.0, and the cloud was just getting big, Rails revolutionized web development, critical to the Web 2.0 wave, and a lot of us here can have built pretty good careers off of it, and a lot of big companies were built with it, which I think some people here are working at those companies. But also, like, during that time, I distinctly remember it seemed like every week a different testing DSL was coming out. People were trying different things. And Rails had a lasting impact for over 20 years. But the testing stuff that, some of it didn't last, but even, shifting testing culture and making testing approachable has also had a lasting approach on the industry. But Ruby also has this duality where part of it's practical, but then there's also, a bit of the fun and experimental side. It engages the left brain and the right brain. And, we also had this, the spirit of experimentation. We had Why the Lucky Stiff building all different types of things. And one in particular, camping, which inspired Sinatra, which in turn inspired Flask and Express, also had a lasting impact on the industry for the last 20 years. And so now we're on the autobiographical slide. In that period after kind of Ruby's golden age, we got older, and the royal this slide is more of a lesson to some of you out there. Our focus shifted to stability, our careers, productivity, and the experimental creativity or creative spark dimmed, and we stopped talking about that. And who knows? Maybe we found all there was to find in Web 2.0. But real quick, how many of you out there, click the survey button, raise your hand if you've never heard of Why the Lucky Stiff, or you're unfamiliar with the history of camping in Sinatra. Wow. So that's my point. And I have been just as guilty of not spreading this message and sharing this, this part of our shared heritage. And so, this is for you. And so this is my part of kind of fixing that error. That is a copy of Y's poignant guide. And I hope that should help clear up some of what I'm talking about. But the spark isn't extinguished. We saw it just now in the last two talks shared by Hal and Amanda. We saw it, the sublayer team at Madison Ruby, where many people there weren't even working professionally in Ruby, but were at a 2-day conference for a programming language they don't work in. And I see it in this room, right? Like we're a Wednesday night in New York City where you can be doing anything else, and you're at an AI event for a programming language that most of the AI industry isn't even aware of. But you're all aware of it. It's not an afterthought to all of you. So that's very exciting. And I think AI can actually reignite that spark. I was joking that maybe we found everything there was to find about Web 2.0, but there is a lot of stuff we can find about these this new technology or capability that we have that that needs the Ruby spirit, Ruby experimentation to really fully explore, to have those lasting impacts that the industry is, the people that complain about the magic and metaprogramming in Ruby still benefited from all of it. So they'll get the benefits of the Ruby community whether they like it or not. And so that's what I see, and then what we're trying to do with artificial Ruby is to bring that spark back with AI and create a platform for Rubyists to share both the practical, the things that are going to make us money and keep us working, keep us fed, and then also the kind of silly. And so I know I thanked the sponsors earlier, but thank you so much for making it possible to create this platform. And we are able to continue doing these because of the sponsors. So thank you so much. And yeah, we want artificial Ruby to be this place where you can share your techniques, your learnings, the practical tools that keep Ruby relevant, but also a space to encourage and celebrate the creative exploration and experimentation. So this talk is also a call for speakers. And here's just like a handful of categories. Anything Ruby and AI related, we are happy and want to get you up here talking about, whether it's AI in production or AI techniques and tutorials. What's in your toolbox? How are you writing Ruby with AI, Rails apps with MCP, or talks like this one where you're demoing some weird or unusual experimental AI thing with Ruby. And we will have, going forward, two special gifts for speakers. Anybody who comes up and braves the big crowd will get a special artificial Ruby speaker t-shirt that you can only get by being up here speaking. And if anybody does a talk in the experimental, creative, unusual, like, is this even useful? Why would somebody do this kind of category? You will also get a special artificial Ruby edition of Wise Poignant Guide. If anybody wants any help brainstorming or workshopping or just practicing your talk, reach out to me. I'm around. I want to see all of you up here and eventually all of you wearing the artificial Ruby speakers t-shirt. So yes, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And so some of you might be saying, wait, why would Scott say talks like this one? This is a pretty mundane, announcements kind of talk. Well, I know something you don't know. I am left-handed, but this entire talk was generated by AI using Monkey's Paw, a new prompt-based web framework in Ruby that I vibe coded over the weekend with Claude. And the way it works is you write markdown files of what you want in your wishes folder, and Monkey's Paw generates the page. And you can see here, let's jump over to the style file. What's going on? I don't have, there we go. I can't see. Let's change this to in the style of a mid-90s GeoCities Pearl Jam fan site. And reload, and let's see what Gemini thinks this slide might look like in that, and I hope my next link still exists. Come on. Well, okay, so close enough. So this one had, this one's set up for, a presentation slide, but you can actually have somewhat consistent design. So this is the sample site that comes with Monkey's Paw, how it works. the getting started page has a little hover, wish granted. The style can stay kind of consistent. But yeah, it's the gem's released. You can go out and play with it. I've been learning how to use it, as you can tell from some of these slides, like the let's see, where is it? The slide for the survey button was actually described. Add a button titled survey that when you click it, this text large becomes visible and slides out from underneath it, and it handled that for me. And so with that, concludes my talk. We can voyage again, and all of you are invited. We need the talks that help us. We need the talks that help us ship on Monday just as much as we need the ones that remind us why we chose Ruby instead of Java in the first place. So thank you all. That concludes my talk. And the final announcement is that the next Artificial Ruby event is going to be on May 7th, right here. And on the site, there is a link to submit talk ideas. If you have a fully formed idea, go ahead and submit it. If you want to talk it out, come talk to me. And that's all I have to say. If you have any questions for any of the speakers, we've got about an hour or so left here. So thank you all. And so that was the last of the speakers.
Keep enjoying. We have at least another hour here.
Sorry, yes. We have until till around 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody, you can keep enjoying drinks, pizza, and everything. Thank you.